Everybody, welcome to Steampunk class. I hope everyone's doing great tonight. I was talking earlier offline that Reddit comes out, or is out. I'm very anxious to see that maybe this weekend. So I encourage everyone to go look there and see Vin Diesel's acting chops. I like the guy because he plays a lot of role-playing games, and I am a geek as well. Let me find my mouse button here. And I'm going to continue to talk because now my Wacom tablet pen is not working. Here we go. No, really. Mr. Nelson, pause the video, please. My Wacom tablet pen is not.
And now it's resumed.
No, don't resume.
And we are back.
Hey, sorry about that. Had a technical glitch in my Wacom pen tablet thingy. The top got moved, and anyway, I have to put it on just so. Real quick, I want to give props out to my concept artist guys and gals from the MMO class. We did a bunch of different art styles to try to pinpoint what direction we want to move in. And the reason this is up here is I want to invite everybody as part of this class to definitely come into the MMO class. We could definitely use some artists. We have modelers that we need, all sorts of designers. So keep that in the back of your noodle. We can see here my templates. And Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson, if you can tell them where to get the templates.
Sure, just give me one moment, and I'm going to paste a link to you guys. For people watching the video, this is actually going to be made available under the assets of this product. So if you just go to the website, jump into the series, if I can find it, and click on assets, you will have a link to that. And it is posted.
Her butt right here is huge. Huge bottom. All right, are we ready then? We're ready. We're going to move on. So we're going to use this mad scientist guy, this skinny little geeky guy here later on tonight. But first, we need to do our quick 5-minute warm-up. Let me find new canvas here. There we go. The importance about doing the 5-minute warm-up is you need to have your hand-eye coordination, all the juices flowing, so you can make your rendering on your tablet. And tonight I want to do kind of a cartoony cat character. You can make them your own. So I may put some horns and some wings on them, kind of like a Chippy style, because I'm doing a Chippy class on Mondays. And again, it's free for everybody, and you guys are more than welcome to join in on that as well. So my canvas, I'm actually using Manga Studio right now instead of Photoshop. It's 17 by 11, 300 DPI. I go to 300 DPI because I can grab a lot of detail that way. DPI again stands for dots per inch. I'll come down here and create a new layer. And I'll go down here to my non-photo blue. Here we go. And I'm going to start my first layer off as soon as Mr. Nelson gives me our 5-minute mark.
Alrighty.
Does that mean I'm going to go?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to start out with a big old circle for my head. I'm going to come down here kind of like a Pillsbury Doughboy. We're going to make him kind of chubby and long. And I'm going to have his leg maybe kicked up like this with his foot, just a small little shape, the other foot down through here. So it's kind of hidden. I'll go ahead and draw through it because I like to draw through my first pass. I got my little shoulder area right through here, another shoulder area right through here. And I'm going to build on top of this here like that. Make his little hand here. And then let's just go ahead and mirror this image over here. I'll take this down here like this, make another little hand right here. And now for the cat part, we already got the head made. And I'm going to do a little triangle out here like this. And we'll give him some whiskers. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll give him this big, like I'm Gonzo sort of nose. And then we'll make him have some eyes like this. And for just giggles and grins, I'm going to give him some horns right here. And we'll give him some bat wings. 1, 2. 1, 2. And I come back in here, make another layer, and I would name that if I needed to name it, but I'm not going to name it just yet. Bring my pen size up quite a bit. Come back here and start tracing along my lines through here of my first pass. Come back through here. Here's my little horns. How am I doing on time, Mr. Nelson?
You have 3 minutes left.
Plenty of time. We can put some detail into the sky. There's a nose right here. Here. Come down here. And maybe put a little shadow right here. His legs. I'll come back through here for his wings. Then I'm going to take out my first level pass right here and see what I've got. I'm pretty happy with this. Let's come over here. Where's my pen? Here we are. Like this. And the reason I got Manga Studio out, again, I'm just going to show you some power right here. I'm going to throw this texture on top of it. Hit my E for my eraser tool. Come down here to my soft light that I have here. And then I can come down in here and start making some highlights through this gradient. It's a pretty darn powerful tool. And then I'll pump up my brush size quite a bit to give them a little stomach area right through here. And then what I'll do is I'll hit a hard surface for my eraser and make a hard highlight on his nose. Maybe up here for the eye. Then 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here. And in no time at all, we have a little devil cat. I mean, just that simple, and it looks really good. Manga Studio is a very, very powerful, cheap program. I think it's like $70 or $80 as opposed to, some of the really, really super high end. Now, you cannot do everything you can in Photoshop in Manga Studio because this is primarily used for comic books. And that's primarily what I do for a living besides be here with Mr. Busby and Mr. 50 Shades Nelson and try to teach you guys and gals some cool, awesome stuff. So surely that is 5 minutes worth of work there, right, Mr. Nelson?
Close enough.
Close enough. So tell you what, like before, what we'll do is we'll take one volunteer because I don't want to monopolize the time for everybody. We'll take one volunteer and see what they've come up with, and we're going to jump right into what's going on tonight. We are going to make a mad scientist. That's my Dr. Evil, Mr. Nelson.
You're Dr. Evil.
Mm-hmm. So we got a victim/volunteer.
All right, you guys know the drill. Hands up, or I'm just going to choose someone I recognize.
Anybody.
All right, Jane. She didn't put her hands up, but let's pick on her.
Sounds good to me.
You shouldn't have picked on me.
Well, we
I
did.
didn't do one.
What?
Sorry, I didn't do a sketch. Sorry. Slap my wrist.
Unacceptable. Ooh.
Pick someone else.
All right, we do actually have a hand up now, so Mr. J. Sorry about that, Jane. Usually, come on.
There we go. That's what I got.
Hey, Mr. J, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yep. That's all I got. I didn't really think while I was doing it, this sort of druid.
Not bad. You were fast. It was to the point. Good job.
Oh, why, thank you.
So are you ready to jump into the mad scientist?
Oh, of course I am.
Rock on. And we shall do that.
Alrighty.
And hey, you got Manga Studio open as well. Look at you go. Are you sucking up right now?
No, that's what I'm working on my other computer. I just didn't save it out as a JPEG.
Okay. So I need to get back in my screen. There we go. And for those who do not know, Mr. J is actually the gentleman we just talked to, and I use the term loosely, gentleman. He is lead for concept characters in the MMO class. So if you're in BuzzNet right now and you want to ask him some questions, how to get more involved, he is the man with the plan. Those are Street Samurai. Sorry about that. Here we go. Now, my template's a little bit different than yours because I mucked with the hand, and I probably shouldn't have done that in retrospect thinking that, hey, you guys are going to be drawing the same thing. I got some cool reference images here. Now, these are not mine, obviously, because that's a real dude. I'm not for sure who that is, but I am going to utilize some of this gear and place it on top of our template. So as you guys get your templates ready, I'm going to hit a layer here, and I'm going to name it First Pass, then enter. And I'll give you guys a small countdown. Do 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 do. Did you like that, Mr. Nelson?
I liked it very much.
Thank you very much. That's my scat diddly that bop 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 doing stuff. Let's shoot him down real close right here. Hit enter. Control D to deselect. Get rid of my materials over here. Now he's naked. Oh my gosh, he's naked. Now I got to make sure that I get onto my correct level here. And again, I'm going to go for my non-photo blue. That's about right. Let me make a quick pass with my brush. I can do that here. Control Z to get out of that. And I'll bring my brush size down a little bit. Let's start out with the big basic shapes right here. This is a big rectangle. I mean, it's a big rectangle. Let's start doing this on our naked guy. As you can tell, right clavicle area is right through here. I'll zoom in here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Clavicle area is right here. Pectoral range is right through here. I got man boobs. As abdomen, stomach muscles if you have them, latissimus dorsi through here. So we're looking right underneath the collarbone right here is where we're going to start this on our template over here. And let's go ahead and make a landmark. I'm going to make a small circle like this to emulate this. And then I will put another circle up here like that. And from here, I'm going to draw this, bullocks, the shape like that. And if you notice right by the shape, there's yet another circle. So I make my little half circle like that. And then I'm going to bring it up to match over here. And let me redo, because if I look closely, it goes around. My bad for not paying attention. So it goes around like this. And to throw some curves on it to get some sort of texture, because it doesn't wrap all the way around here. It's just covering his front side, his frontsies. So again, I'm going to come down here with my pectoral range right here over the pec. Bring it down here like so. And it looks like it's right above his knees. So I'll zoom out like this. Come down here. And then I'll match this shape over here like that. Now what I can do is I can come back down to my first layer, hit my eraser tool. Actually, this is not Photoshop, so I need to paint on top of it. Let me bring my brush size up a little bit more. Blocks, here we go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. When you're working with multiple programs, sometimes you get finger stupid. So on my first layer, my little dude here, I erase all this goings on right here. And we've got ourselves a bib. He's ready to eat some chicken. Lots of chicken. We had chicken tonight, didn't we, Mr. Nelson?
We did. I would like some more chicken, actually. I'm hungry.
It was pretty darn spectacular. It was almost finger looking good. All right, so now I'm going to come back up here to my first pass. I'll get to my blues again. And I count 1, 2, 3, 2 more because we've already done the one over here. Bring my brush size down here. And all this is paying attention to detail. I'm going to hit one little circle here and go all the way over here for symmetry. Hit another small circle like this. And then you see this strap. Now I don't want the strap to come down like this. If you look, the strap actually comes at an angle like so. So that's what the shape that I'm looking for. I'm going to come across here midsection like this. Zoom in here for you guys. And we look at this. There's a small circle on this side right here where it is attached. And then I'll come back through here like so. And we'll work on this here in a minute. Actually, while we're here, let's go do that. We do a little bit of a doodad here. like so, like the cloth is being pinched in because of the strap. We have another circle right here. And then looking at symmetry on the other side right here, we draw the other circle right like this. And now the strap goes past. So I'll draw my strap like that. And then we throw a little bit of textures in here like this. And let's go ahead and continue to work down. So we got to do the second strap. Second strap is right underneath this area right here. And I'll start out a little bit wider through here. Ink it off here like this. And then we have another little strap doodad looking thing here. And then we have this shape here. So basically all we've done so far is drawn a triangle on this guy, and we mucked about, and two little straps. And then it looks like this strap here actually comes down to a Z formation, comes down here like this, comes to like a half a circle, and comes down through here like this for texture purposes. And let's zoom in here really close. And we have some more textures that come in through here. Oh, hey, looky here. We've got ourselves yet another little button that I forgot to do. So this comes down here like this. My button is down here. And from this area right here, this button, this last button, who's got the button that was drawn? We come down here like this. So I'll pause for the cause, let you guys catch up. And see what you guys got so far.
All right, are we jumping into screens? Or what are we doing?
Yeah, let's take one screen real quick. I want to make sure everyone is caught up.
All right, so same deal as before. Hands up or questions or chat or however, just ping me in some way. Tough crowd tonight, Derek.
It is a very tough crowd.
All right, nobody's volunteering.
Just take Jane, because she messed up last time.
Oh, Sunny's volunteering.
Awesome, Sunny. How you doing, Sunny?
I'm finding you.
I'm making it, man, one step at a time. I guess I need to take your screen. Here we go. Hold on, let me present her. Looking pretty good so far. Look at that strapping young lad.
Yeah, I'm just stretching. I'm not concentrating on good line lecturing, so.
Well, hey, first pass, that's all you got to do. We're just throwing down some quick lines. So well done. All right,
Thank
so
you.
let's go ahead and take my screen back. You guys seem to know what you're doing.
Yes, we know.
And I need to show my screen. I'll zoom back here. So we have this big triangle looking thing, and obviously his little robe right through here comes down, maybe not that particular angle. Wrap around like this by his booty. And we can just go ahead and follow this around like that here. So that's cool. We have a couple more straps on his arm. I count 2. And again, I'm not going to come down at an angle like this. What I want to do is I want it to wrap around the half circle like that. Like this. Make a small looking square like that. How you guys doing?
I assume very well.
Good, good. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Okay, sorry, I'm being crazy. All right, where's my pen? Here we go. So we have another strap mid-form like this. We're going to come down at an angle here. like so. Let's bring it out just a little bit more. Another small square here. And it looks like he's got gloves on, or his hands are, that's really funky up there. But tell you what we're going to do here to make him more look like gloves, we'll go and trace this area where the hand's at. And let's try to put a strap here. I know I'm kind of deviating from what's going on there. And we'll do another couple little straps like that. So get that sorted out. And then we'll work on, you know what, here, let me do this real quick, guys and gals. Let me come back to my first area right through here. I was being selfish by making my own arm do its own thing. I'll hit edit, cut to get rid of this thing. Come in here, get my fill tool like this. Alt delete, fill it up, Control D. And then I come back to my canvas here. Get out of there. You guys are looking at watching workarounds here. I'm hit Control C for copy, just like Photoshop. Come back to my, they're all looking the same. Ah, help. Of course, it's the last canvas. Hit Control V, zoom up here because my arm actually appears up there. Get my little pointer. Voila, I got my arm like you guys have your arm now. I'll go back to my first pass layer. I got my arm looking like your arm. So we know on this direction here, he has two straps. And we don't see it here, but because it's here, we're gonna make it symmetrical. I'm gonna get my pen coming up real quick. And I need to get my blue. Make another strap over here like this. Mid forearm. Let me zoom in here for you guys. Because what you guys are learning is wraparounds. You're gonna follow the contour of the lines. You come like this. And then we can put a little more detail into it like this. Come back here. And what I did was I put some straps here instead of like having this dangle and hang out. So I definitely want to do this here as well. I'll go 1, 2 straps here. I'll do 3. And then the hand looks like it's wearing some sort of gloved-like instrument. So we have this all going on, right? Let's go ahead and build on our little goggles right here. So first of all, we have to look around again. We're going to draw through our figure. Come across like this. Then hit your eraser tool. So now we have everything in perfect symmetry. Come down here like this. Now watch what I'm doing, okay? I'm not coming straight down like this. You can, that is definitely a style. I'm gonna come up here, a small lip, and I can come down to where these other lines are at like this. So it makes it look like he has a shirt. That's fine. And then our goggles right here, I mean, they look like he's Scuba Steve. Hello, I'm Scuba Steve, and I'm going to go scuba diving. That's awesome. So what you can do is draw one upside down Mickey Mouse here. 2 Mickey Mouse upside down ears like that. And then you can attach them. Attach them one more time here. And then what we're going to do is zoom in here to make them look like they have volume. Come up by this neck piece here. Come in like this. And what we'll do is we'll go 1, 2, 3 for some gear. 1, 2, 3. And then that's when we get some more detail into the goggles. What we're going to do is make another upside down Mickey Mouse here inside this area here. So we're coming here like this. And then we just have to make a strap. And we'll zoom in here really nice and close. I'm just going to make a box like that. And then my strap is going to come past this area right here. Past this area like that. And the same thing over here like that. So now when I zoom out, we got our goggles, we have our gloves, and we got this mad scientist looking guy thing going on. And since he's holding some sort of beaker or bottle, let's go ahead and put the beaker or bottle right here. Remember last class I showed you guys how to, with ellipses. I'm going to come up here like this, and you can form it, and then you erase this backside. So let's go ahead and do this. And we know that this area here is wider than the top area. We're coming across like this. This bottom circle is wider. Come to the very end like this. Follow the end here. Follow the end here like this. And of course, we're going to want some of the bottles showing here past his thumb. And then we can put some liquid in here, maybe some bubbles. Look, bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. So we got a little mad scientist going on. For his boots, he basically has spats. If we look really close at this detail, and Steampunk has a lot of detail, I see a solid line here. Put my solid line like this. I see some wrinkles that come through here like so, followed by the actual spat region here. It comes across like that. And we'll do the same thing. Oops, let's go ahead and make another little strappy area right here because we see this here. So let's go over here to this leg and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to wrap it around like this. Now, the reason why this is shorter than this is in the foreground, so the dimensions are a little bit different. I'm going to come in through here to make some more of the wrinkles where the leather is at. And then my spat region comes in here through like this. We have kind of a highlight here. And we do some highlights like this. Last but not least, I don't want to be moving too fast. We're going to come down here to make these boots look chunky. Chunky, monkey, chunky, chunky, funky, chunky. I'm going to come out like this. Come up. Bring it around here. So now he's got some chunky boots. And it works out where this is almost the same level as this because now it's flat. So all I'm going to do here is draw a line in through here like this and maybe another little line back here to give it dimension. And we got some chunky boots, we got the vest, and we've got our little beaker thing going on. So let me see what you guys have gotten so far. Let me have at least one volunteer.
All right, hands up or post in the questions panel or chat panel. All right, it looks like we got a Mr. Wolf.
Awesome. Pretty darn good, dude.
Hey, thanks. Didn't get the boot here, and I missed that thing. But
So how easy was it?
it's going good. It's not particularly hard. I just missed this right here, and the drink thing, or not the drink, with a potion or whatever it was, and then this part of the boot. I think that's all I missed.
Do it for me real quick.
The boot?
You're on the fly. Yeah, do the boot. You're on the fly. Let's see what you got.
I don't know what you did.
What? Okay, you have the other boot here. That's basically what I did. You have that boot over there. Make the same. All you're missing is a spat.
What am I, like this?
Mm-hmm. Just like that, and bring it around.
This?
Just like that. And put some highlights in there.
Highlights?
Yeah, a little squiggly line. Rebels.
Where? Here? I don't know what you want.
That will work. That will work. I was working pretty fast. That will work, darn it. So you got a pretty good looking guy right here. All
Thanks.
right. Take my screen back. I'm proud of you, Mr. Wolf.
Thanks.
All right. So tell you what we're going to do is I'm going to make another layer on top of this, all right? And I'm going to name this gun layer, G-U-N-L for gun layer. I'm actually going to pick a red color this time. So we've got the initial body all built up. And what I need to do down here is come to this level right here, and I'm going to select this bad mamma jamma like this, hit Control T, and bring him down right here so I have a better representation and I can see, so I don't have to keep scooting my screen up and down, and come in through here. Now there's some definite, I mean, he definitely looks steampunk, doesn't he? But I kind of want to marry the two. First of all, let's go ahead and make the top hat. What do you think, Mr. Nelson?
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan. So what we're going to do here is, now this guy doesn't have goggles. His goggles are down here. And if I made goggles again, I think I'd be a bit redundant. So let's not be redundant. So what I'm going to do is, this rim is right above his eyes. So I'm going to take this here and it curls out. It comes down. Now the head shape that we already made, I don't want to start my hat in here like this because then his head is popping out. So I definitely want to start out here. So I'm going to start here, bend it down here like this, come up here like this, bend it down like that. And we look at the detail on this hat here. Pretty darn rootin' and cool. So let's go ahead and finish this area right here. I now have a hat. Thank you very much. I'll come down to my base layer. Actually, I'm on my base layer. Shame on me. This is not Photoshop, Mr. J. If you had Photoshop, you just have to erase it. And now let me get on to my gun layer, my proper one, and I'll go back to my red. So I have this initial hat here, and let's throw some detail into it. If you look at it, it's 1, 2, 3 boxes. I mean, that's all there is to it. I'm going to go 1, skip over slightly, 2, and we'll make one more, 3 like this. And then we have the rim that comes around here. So I'm going to scoot out here a little bit, bring the rim like this, maybe make this a little bit thicker. Again, this is just the base layer, so we get our idea of what we want and don't want. And I have these little areas here connecting everything. So let's come back in here, put some more detail. Let's come across like this. I'm really going to zoom in here and kind of booger it up myself. Come in here like this, and let's just make a circle here, circle there, circle everywhere. Then I can zoom back, and we have a red hat. Look at me, I'm all distinguished. But we're missing something, Mr. Nelson. What are we missing?
Everything. Or nothing. What are we missing, Derek?
Look at that mustache, man. How can you not be an evil scientist? I mean, okay, he's like the Sears and Roebuck. I'm generic scientist, but look at me. I'm much cooler because I have a big mustache. And we went over mustaches in the last class. And if you look at this mustache right here, from the bridge of the nose where it flares out, here's my bridge. I'm going to come down here like this. From the bridge. You like that, Mr. Nelson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we got some big mutton chops here, so I'm going to come down. I'm going to do this twice. Okay, so don't worry, don't fret, because I definitely want to do it twice. I'm going to come out with my initial lines through here like this, straight down, around to the ear, and then to give that highlight area right here, come out here like this. So let me do it again. Coming down here, straight down to his cheek, around to the ear. I can zoom in here for the little highlight set. So we got one mutton chop here, and ideally you're going to see some of the mutton chop over here as well. So I'll zoom in here, and I will draw through here like this and down. So now I have some mutton chops. So I've got myself a really cool looking hat. I got a mad scientist beaker. And let's go ahead and work on some straps right here so we can put this big thingy bobber right here that will eventually have some sort of weapon to it. So again, I'm on my gun layer, and I can make this all disappear. And it's back, it's gone, it's back. Oh, now it's back. I'm going to make a small X like this. Or not X, I'm sorry, a small box. I'll make a strap come down to midsection right here to right here. And I know I'm covering up some buttons that we already made, but you know, that's the name of the game. Square this off. And from this, I'm going to build a bigger square on the bottom of it. Like that. And we put some little doodads in through here. So ideally, it kind of looks like it attaches to these straps. If we notice, we have some more strap areas through here. It's all about detail. Right now, we're just placing things, and when we come back, we're going to put all the, you know, fine line work and stuff in there. So I'm going to make from the edge. Now watch this very, very close. I'm not just making a straight line like this. I'm going to come on the edge like this, up and down, up and down. Let's do one more. And then what we want to do is come down through here like this. And you make a couple more little strappy looking things right through here. And then we have a little more detail over here we can add. So let's make another box inside a box. Come in like this here and here. So now I zoom back. We have the first part of our suspenders. This is where we are going to say, hey, let's take another look at somebody real quick. So I'm not going too fast. And if there's any questions, by all means, please feel free to raise your hand. Anybody?
Jane says okay.
Rock on, Miss Jane.
Sorry, jumping into her screen? Or Derek?
Where's it at?
No, I said
Here
are
it
we?
is.
I guess we are.
Oh, yes, we are. We are, yes.
There, this time I worked on it.
I gotta find it now.
Hello?
Oh, hey, looky there. Miss Jane. You're freaking awesome, Mama.
I did something this time.
Yay. I don't have to like send sad kittens your way, because I will. We have a box
Hey,
full over here at the Buzz
Not
Cave.
kittens, not kittens.
Mm-hmm. You're getting 3 if you don't work hard. All right, well done. So thank you for letting us take your screen, and it helps everyone to basically, you know, catch up and
Laugh?
stuff. No, not laugh, you silly person. To catch up. All right, my screen again, Mr. Nelson. Well done, Miss Jane. I'm proud of you. Glad you're here again.
Thanks.
So we have one strap through here. Let's go ahead and put another strap over on this side. And we're pretty much going to mirror this. So we have our one little box area over here. And we know we have another little box in that area like this. I'll bring the straps down here. And then as this is a slight angle, I'm going to bring this as a slight angle too. Maybe a little bit wider. Come down this area right where it's flush with this bottom or top strap. And I have 1, 2, 3 little doodads. 1, 2, 3. And let's go ahead and make our little tightening up areas here. And we can bring our little lines in through here like this. So you know we're going to keep with our detail. Zoom back out. And if I take my gun layer off here, all that disappears. Now it's all back on. So layers are your friends. Most definitely. All right, so we got this big strapping area right here that, you know what? Hold on. I'm not done yet. Let's go ahead and finish this area out here. Let's make that little circle thing right through here to make it look a little more steampunk. And then we can meld them all together with a little circle right here like this. So now we can say, okay, everything's strapped together, but we're not done yet. If you act now, let's go and bring some straps around here. I just don't think it's going to sit well functionally on top of his person like that. So I want some straps that can come all the way through here like that. Now it kind of looks like it can hold something of heavy weight on his back. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to catch up on that. And now we're going to make the golden arches. Here's one of my M's. I'm loving it. My other little M. And what we'll do is we'll bring it across like this, so it looks like it is going all the way through his back. So go ahead and catch up with that. And the next step, well, we're going to be building some gears on top of it. Everybody caught up, you think?
I'm assuming so, yes.
Okay, I like your assumption. So now we have these little gear doodaddy things up through here. And I'm going to make 1, 2, 1, 2, and we make little boxes. We round them off like that. Make a little area right here, and then we round them off like this on top of it. And then we can tell that we have these, this is where the liquid is at, liquid perishables. We can't really see it because his shoulder's in the way, so what we're going to do is we're going to move this up. And again, I'm not coming straight across like that because that would ruin the illusion. I'm going to follow the contour like this. Oops, that's a bad contour, bad Derek. Around like this. The same thing with this area over here like so. And that's where our liquid would go, and I see some rivets. Rivets are very, very big in the steampunk world. Rivets are nothing more than 1, 2, 3 circles. 1, 2, 3 circles. Let's do something kind of cool though. I think we shall. Yes, we shall. Let's throw another rivet out here. Let's make a little 1, 2 little line thingies. Little box area like this. And bring it here. And since we have that here, let's go ahead and bring this over here. Now, I'm not putting it in the liquid area just yet, but let's go ahead and do that here. I like that idea. And then I round it off. So what we can do here is then we can build some tubes. You can kind of come around here, and your tubes, you just follow the little contour like that. And I'll zoom back, and that's what we have so far. I see some other gear through here. Evidently, this thing is very, very big. And we're going to draw through that to make this little gun area. So I'm going to make another box-looking shape through here. Notice it's kind of rounded on the edge here. Let's follow the contour around like this and go 1, 2, and then let's take this up here. My bad. Let's take this up here to the side like this. Make sure your tubes aren't too fat, too small, too skinny, not cut off. And there you go. We got this cool looking thing on our back. We have our top hat. We got a killer freaking mustache. We have straps that will carry all this stuff onto it. Not bad. And tell you what, so I don't have to, let's go ahead and do a little bit more, shall we? I think we shall. Yes, we shall. Let's do this. I really like this big area right through here. And I know we've already drawn all this through here, but this is why we call it the first pass. You have the option to redo some stuff. So right over here, I'm going to make this big circle like this with a gear here, or gear here, and a gear here like that. So you guys go ahead and do the same thing. How you guys doing?
They seem to be doing well.
Good. And with interest of time, let's go ahead and take a break right now. It's 9:54 my time. Let's go ahead and take it till the break until 10:02. I want you guys to have plenty of time to catch up when we come back. We'll throw the final details and we'll do our fine line work.
Alrighty.
Everybody, welcome back. We're back a little bit early, but we got some top secret Buzz stuff that's been going on at the Buzz Cave. I'm here this week working my little booty off, having a great time with Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson. I'm going to take my layer. I'm going to combine, no, I'm not going to combine all visible layers. I can't believe you almost let me do that, Nelson. What the crap?
I'm sorry, I failed you.
You did. That's all right. Look, I'm naked. Where'd my layer go? Here it is. Okay, here it is. I'm going to move this all the way up to the top here. All right, name this main, M-A-I-N. I'm going to come back with my black now. Hit my P button for this particular thing. I use this G pen. This area right over here is aliasing. It allows me to make smooth lines. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw on top of this bad boy. Come in here really nice and tight. And this is what I want you guys to do. Whenever I ink stuff, and this is not proper inking, mind you, I usually start out with the contours first. I'll trace them like this. Now I'm going to spin my canvas around, which is pretty cool. Like this. Now, you may not be able to do this, but it really helps with inking. I come down through here so I have better control of my pen. Spin it back around this way. Follow my tubes around like this. Come across here. And all we're doing is following our geometry that we already laid down. Spin this bad mamma jambo yet again, so I have better control of my pen, the direction it's going. I just hope this guy doesn't throw up, huh? Move it up through here. Oops. Come down here like this. Follow this area through here like so. Make a little spot black area right through here like that. All these are indication of fingers. And if you look, he's only got 4 fingers. Poor guy, must have been in an industrial accident. Come back through here. And again, all I'm doing is tracing the outline of my character right now. And I can come back in here and do all the other detail. I know this is kind of a long way to do it, but this is the way you guys get better. You need to practice. And no better way to practice than to do. So all the line work that you've already done once, you get to do again. Being repetitive, getting your hand-eye coordination down to where it needs to go. I wish there was a shortcut. I wish I was magic and can make awesome things happen with a wave of my wand. Unfortunately, my magic card has been taken away. And it's in Mr. Nelson's bedroom, and he does not want me in there because he's got all those ponies. I would so steal them all.
What I
A
do
big
with my
rainbow
ponies
dash.
is my own personal time.
See, I'm kind of torn. I'm not sure if I want to be a cutie pie. Is it cutie pie?
Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie pie, cutie pie. Basically the same difference, isn't it?
Not at all.
Is there a cutie pie?
There's not. That name sounds dumb.
Because you wouldn't want to have a cutie pie that's a horse or a pony. That make too much sense. How's everybody doing so far? Tell you what we can do in interest of time. We can spin them all the way around. And let's concentrate on my gun layer right through. There's my gun layer right through here. Let's concentrate on this. So following these images around, throw that in there to make it more three-dimensional. Hard to talk and work at the same time. Circle, circle, circle. My evil looking hat. Come in here to trace the chops. Let's go ahead and fill this in while we're here, because it's an evil looking mustache. He's a crazy evil mad scientist. My chops got to be traced. Coming in through here like so. And then just tracing the contours again and again and again. I'll go ahead and do my blue area too, because I know I'm going to need that. And that would be under my first pass. And these lines by no mention of the way. These are not finished lines. These are hurried lines. Practice lines. So you guys will be able to get really good at being very fast, because the concept artist who can draw fast gets the job. So once we're done, I'll throw some tones on it too. And then I'd probably present this and about 5 other characters. I don't want to go over 5 characters to present to a client, because that gives them too many choices. And then they get confused. You want to give them choice, but not confusion. And it makes your work a lot harder too. If you present 10, and let's say specifically say I want 10, they might say, well, I like number 3, 4, 8, and 2, and I want you to combine all these together. And now with 5, chances are that there's going to be one really, really nice one, and they'll be happy with that. Or they may see one and just need some changes on that one. Now notice what I'm doing. I'm not drawing through here, because I know my straps come on top of all this. One, two, three. Got my little beaker here. Beaker, beaker. Let's make a little label here. XXX. Bad Mojo. Let's make these straps right here like so. And I'm not drawing through all this stuff here, because that will not be seen. And we most likely will have to do some cleanup in all this. You feel free to add some more greebling like Steve likes to do. Actually, I do that stuff. I like to do it agreeable. It's going to be a cool dance. And when you hear it and you're doing it, you're going to say, I was there when Derek talked about greebling. So let's do this here. Oops. Okay, so we know we need to do our first pass a little bit thicker. Our gun area. We got a little area right through here that needs to be done. Done. Not bad. The lines are pretty weak. Let's come back to our first pass, and I turn it on, I turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. So I hit this area right here. I hit my eraser tool. Make sure it's hard edge. So we're going to erase the blue in through here, and eventually, well, while we're here, let's go ahead and erase it. Ah, books. This is not Photoshop. And now we can come in here and kind of darken some more of our blue areas, so to speak. Let me make this a little bit thicker through here like that. Some mutton chops going on through here. And let's throw a little more detail right through here. Some cool flake areas that are going on through here. Or again, like Steve likes to call them greebling. And this is a really quick down and dirty way to put together your guy. And I know you guys aren't caught up yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess around with some tones. I'm going to show you the power of Manga Studio like that. I'm going to take my 25%. Actually, heck, I'll start with 15. Why do you show up like that? Let's put you all the way up here. There we go. Everything is in order now. Now there's a couple different things I can do. I can hit my eraser tool, and I can start coming in here doing highlights, which isn't a bad idea. What I'll do is I come underneath the eye. I really like to make little highlights like that around the eye. Maybe some down underneath here like this. Put some nice little glints over through here. The boot area. What's that auto boot, Jane? No. Some more highlights. We do a little reverse highlights through here. Some highlights here in the hat. Maybe some on the bridge of the nose like this. And quickly with an eraser tool and a gray really starts to pop out. It starts to be a good read. But let me show you what's really also awesome about this. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit my selection tool, or my lasso tool. I'm going to come up through here like this. Hit the nose. And I'm going to bring this 15% again, because I've already used the 15. I'm going to come up like that. And it gives it a nice tone. And I'll use my eraser tool. Come in here like this. You're starting to see some pretty cool highlights. Now, if I wanted to, and I do, underneath the bridge of the nose, where there would be a darker shadow, I'll come in through here and move to a 30%. Zoom up back a little bit like that. Hit my eraser tool again here. And what I'm going to do is come all the way back to my second layer here. Erase a little bit so the eye can be seen. And there we go, some specular looking highlight looking things through there. But by just a couple of tones that we just threw on top of here like this, it's already starting to really pop. It's really easy to do. So I'm going to continue to finish mine, and you guys keep working on yours. What I'll do here is obviously the light's coming from this area here. Shadows are going to be coming casting over here. So I'll keep this initial layer at I think 15%. And I will just go ahead and actually select all this area through here like so. And if you notice, I mucked up here, but there's a really quick workaround. And I go to 30%. And I'm hitting my eraser tool. I want to show you guys the power of Manga Studio. Again, super cheap. I'll erase the areas I do not want. Erase part of my tube through here. Now there's a couple different ways we can work around this area right through here. Let's do a couple more little highlight looking areas. what I can do now is I can take my magic tool wand thingy here and select all over it and do it all again, or you can hit P for pen. And what it's going to do now, because this layer has been selected, this tone, it's actually going to draw the tone on top of this area right through here. That's what I wanted. So if I wanted my tone to come down here a little bit more, maybe make that where the highlight is at. Let me get my eraser tool and clean this area up through here just a little bit. A couple little highlights through here because it's kind of a leathery looking thing. And I want some shadows over here. And again, instead of coming all the way over here, I'll hit my P for my pen button. And it's already been selected for this particular tone. Come in through here like this. Make some shadows through here. And we'll put some shadows on this side of his hand. Some shadows and where the little beaker's at. And I'm almost finished with them. And this is a really, really quick, easy way to make this guy really pop on paper. I really don't like drawing on solid white. I will when I ink. I mean, because my Bristol board traditionally is all white. But I like to put the gray down over my inks and then come back in here, and that's where I do all my little highlights and stuff. For instance, this chick here, I was really, really happy with her. It's one of the styles for the MMO that we were talking about. Even this guy, she's all pure black and white, threw the ink top on top of it, soft eraser to throw some interesting looking highlights that are going on, and then a different style of brush around here to make everything pop. And it literally took minutes to do, but it looks slick and professional. So we're coming back through here. Let's do one more thing. I will hit my selection tool again, and I'm going to take it by the feet. Oops, really, come on. Like this. So he's rounded, go to my 30%. Come back here, hit my eraser tool. And he's got a shadow. And there you have it, there you are. Seriously, it's quick, it's easy, we recognize shapes, we worked with our template already, and we just looked at a couple reference images and made it our own. And that's in essence what concept artists do. You take and pick and you choose and you combine, and with this great powerful tool of Manga Studio, it really makes things cartoony and it really, really makes things pop. So with that said, I want a couple of volunteers to see what you've gotten done so far, because I've been working my butt off. I want to see what you guys are doing. Mr. Nelson, do we have any volunteers?
All right, post in questions panel or raise your hand, and we'll hop on over to you. Sunny, that's not the questions panel, but I'll jump into you anyway.
Thank you, Mr. 50 Shades of Nelson. Sunny, he's French Canadian, I think. He's silly.
I'm not silly, but okay.
Look at your line weights, man. Those are awesome. Really took your time on those.
Really?
Yeah, they're nice. They're smooth. Yeah, I like what's going on there, man.
But is that that powerful that you use manga something? Because
You need to turn yourself up a little bit because I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said, is that very powerful to use manga something?
It's called Manga Studio. I think it's like $80. I love it. It's powerful. What you can do in Photoshop. Tell you what, go ahead and take my screen again, Mr. Nelson. And you guys follow along in Photoshop.
Yay.
Show my screen. Let me open up something here. It's a comic book page that I'm reworking. Here, my black and white chick. Come on, think.
Are you still there? Or? Well, it seems nobody is there. Awesome. Hello? Hello.
Derek?
Hey everybody, it's Derek again. I'm actually in the pony room, Nelson's room. It's freaking awesome. There's ponies everywhere. And thank goodness I was at the Buzz Cave today. For whatever reason, I've lost internet connection in the other room, which is very strange and weird indeed. I'm not sure if you actually got to see my Photoshop presentation on how you make, I guess, you make a separate layer, and then you fill it all in with a gray, and then you bring the opacity down, and then you can use your eraser tool to hit those highlights. And we are having some technical difficulties here, so I'll tell you what, I want you guys to finish this one out, and then on the template, pick one of the girls, either the sexy girl or the young girl, and your assignment for next week is I want to see them as mad scientist. I apologize for the technical failures and all that. I will beat Nelson with a wet noodle and empty cartons of Camel cigarettes here in a little bit. So with that, so we can get ourselves sorted out, thank you everybody for joining us tonight, and everybody who is watching this live, or not live, almost live. We will get out of here now, and I'll see you guys next week.
We're connected.